In this morning's Health Watch, we've all been through it. Long waits at the doctor's office. A recent study finds that the average wait to see a physician is 22 minutes. You kidding? It's much more. On some days it can be hours, and that can be extremely frustrating, especially when you're sick or in a hurry. Our Dr. Jennifer Ashton is back now with some tips on reducing the wait time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Maggie.
I have to say, and I'm not just saying this, your office is a well-oiled machine. I've never seen a single person in the waiting room, but I'm sure even on some occasions you have setbacks. Why does that happen?
Right. There's a lot of reasons, Maggie, why doctors can run late. First of all, it might be a legitimate patient emergency. If a patient has a medical problem where they start crying in the office, we're not just going to step over them and say, sorry, we have to stay on our schedule. Patients can show up late. Doctors can show up late, and yes, it is definitely true that patients are scheduled in an ungodly order, sometimes every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, so that doctors can meet their overhead, because years ago, insurance reimbursement went down. Doctors had to see more patients to earn the same amount of money, so there is clearly a financial aspect to it. It's horrible.
It is horrible, but it is what it is, so what can we do to make it better? I know that when I call for an appointment, either for my kids or for myself, I always ask the receptionist, what's the best time to come?
Exactly.
Is there a best time?
There's no secret handshake, Maggie. There's no secret to getting in and out of there quickly, other than the fact that it is definitely advisable to get the first appointment of the day, because then you minimize the chance that the doctor or patient could be falling behind. Or if you can't get the first morning appointment, get the first appointment after lunch. Also, Mondays, Fridays tend to be busier days, so you want to try, if you can, for an elective appointment to schedule your appointment during the middle of the week.
Sometimes the doctor's offices will send you paperwork ahead of time that you can fill out. Does that save time, though, or do they kind of account for the time it'll take to fill out the paperwork in your appointment?
I think that's a big time saver, and certainly now in this technological age, there's really no reason why a doctor's office should not be able to provide you with those annoying registration forms, the big stack of them, online or in advance, so you don't have to go through that, because we all know how frustrating it is to be handed that clipboard when you show up. It can take a half an hour just for the office staff to process those papers.
You don't have any papers in your office.
We're paperless.
You guys are paperless.
That's right.
And I know that you often give your email to patients as well. Is that something that we should expect from our doctors?
Well, we're seeing a lot more of that now, even so-called friending your doctor on Facebook,
right,
so to speak. It can be helpful for small questions that are just a quick yes or no answer. And yes, my patients do communicate with me either by text or email, and I think it is a huge time saver. It's not appropriate for longer, more complicated discussions like, should I consider a knee replacement? That's something that really should be done face-to-face.
Our colleague Patty says, as she knows someone who billed his doctor for his time.
Yep.
I'm a lawyer. You wasted an hour of my time. Here's my bill. Do intimidation and tactics like that work?
No, but I've definitely heard of that, and I think it does hold doctors accountable. Again, their time is not more valuable than their patient's time. It really needs to be a two-way street.
All right. Thank you,
You
Dr.
bet,
Jennifer
Mags.
Ashton.